The other one's for you right now. Attitude number 2 is about growth. It's about change. If you're not open to change, if you're not open to growth, if you're not willing to learn to do some things better or differently, don't get married. Let me just be very candid with you. Don't bother. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, some people really think they've arrived. They really think they're okay. They've developed and they have no great need to change. If there's a problem between them and their spouse, it's the spouse's problem. It's never theirs. If that's the way you think, it's okay. Just don't get married. Because marriage will demand that you change. It will pressure you to change. Any friendship does, but marriage in particular. So this guy gets dragged in by his wife. They're in crisis. They've been married 7 years. And they're on the verge of separating because she is fed up with this guy. He's what Marriage Encounter talks about as a married single. He's married, but he still thinks and lives like a single guy. And she's had it. And so we're having this conversation. They've got 2 kids. I said to him, so your wife's pretty upset with your being single still in your head, even though you're married. You know, playing hockey 3 times a week. I know you're a goalie, you're in demand, but 3 times a week, going to the pub, beer parlor, whatever, twice after that. You know, playing video games all the time at home, and you know, you could be doing stuff with kids. All the stuff that she had on her list. She had quite a good list. And he said to me, I told her before we got married that I wasn't going to change. And I looked at his wife, I got her in, I said, do you remember him saying that to you? And she said, yeah, I remember that. So I said, well, why did you marry him? Because he's one of these insightful guys who's got it figured out. He knew he wasn't going to change. He was being very honest with you. She said, I thought I could change him. I said, how's that working for you? She says, not terribly good. We've had to call in the cavalry. They separated because he wasn't really willing to change, to be married. And that could probably be the end of the story because he should have never got married in the first place. But it isn't. Thank goodness it isn't. After about 4 months, he realized that he was more married than he thought he was. And he missed his kids desperately. He saw them, but it wasn't the same. And he started to work with her as a team player. He still played hockey, he still played his video games, but he did it differently. She felt like he was a partner now, not another kid. And they converted. He converted. He saved his marriage. So you two need to ask that question of each other. Are you willing to change? Are you willing to do things differently? And it's not a big deal. There's little changes. I'll give you some examples in a bit. That's the second attitude.